And welcome back to Trojan Sports Now. Welcome into our interview segment, and today we're joined by senior thrower on the track and field team, Zach Douglas. Zach, thanks for joining us today on the show. I understand you guys just got back from Mobile, where you guys competed over the weekend. How'd you guys do?
We did really well. Had a good showing from some of our freshmen and a lot of good performances across the board as a team. So we're off to a good start this year.
And then you highlighted some performances from your freshman and sophomore, some of the younger guys, and some of those guys may have just come from the indoor season to the outdoor season. Mm-hmm. What kind of preparation goes into making that kind of switch?
A lot of preparation. It's a tough transition. First time, cycling through, having to hit the weights back hard again and get ready for the outdoor season. So sometimes they go through a lot of hard changes during that time, and they come out the other side of it. They're usually better for it. So.
Yeah, but you're a senior, so you've kind of been through the cycle a few times, and actually you've turned in some pretty impressive performances over your years as a Trojan. And I mean, what goes into your preparation yourself?
Just a lot of hard work. That's all I can say. It came from a small town. I was actually a walk-on here my freshman year, and put a lot of hard work in and ended up getting a scholarship. So that's about all there is to it. Just put your nose to the grindstone and keep going.
And then, what kind of inspiration or what kind of help has Coach Davis been for you since you've been here at Troy?
Oh, Coach Davis and Coach Michelle are phenomenal. They've shown me and given me more things than anybody in my life. They've been a real inspiration and help to me to get to where I am, and I couldn't have done anything without them.
And then you're a thrower, so what all goes into throwing? Is it just shot put? Is it discus?
Yes, both of them. I throw both. Discus, we're actually just now getting started. I mean, because we're only outdoor events, so I threw indoor with shot put, so I've had a little more work with that. So shot put's coming along real well. Discus is still, we're easing into it. So.
How'd you get into actually throwing shot put and discus?
Short story is I threw 2 years in high school, wasn't very good. I was actually a football player and had a little bit of an injury that prevented me from going to play college football, and took a year off and decided I couldn't do it. I had to do some sport somehow, and I made a phone call and came down here, and that's how I got started doing track and field. So not your typical story.
Yeah. Hey, but I'm sure football certainly helps in with a lot of areas with being able to be a two-sport athlete. Just talk. I mean, like you're a big guy. You look you're pretty well fit. I mean, how does football play a role into your life translating into track and field?
Well, football taught me about being on a team, of course, and that a lot of people don't think that track and field is a team. In fact, because it is so many individual events, but there is definitely a team concept. And took that from football. That was a pretty easy transition for me. But as far as the technical aspects of track and field, they're about as opposite as you can be from football. But it's definitely football is always good for any situation. You can always take things out of that. So, and track and field is my life now. So, I guess I made the transition.
And then we were talking. Track and field is actually a long season. You mentioned that you guys are just getting started. This is what you're like your second outdoor meet.
Yes, sir.
And you guys all go all the way through June, and school doesn't. School ends in May. So, I mean, what's it like to kind of hang around on campus pretty much all summer?
It's pretty dead, actually. There's not a lot of people around, so it's just a lot of practicing. We have 2-3 practices a day, and a lot of weights and a lot of downtime actually. So you get to really relax, when you're not, about half the day or so, maybe more than that, 3/4 of the day. So it's kind of relaxing actually. You don't really have to be everywhere, class and everything like that. So it's a fun time.
Also, with the season being so long, I imagine there's quite a bit of nutritioning and keeping yourself in shape, and just I'm pretty sure it's a mental game. I mean, how do you combat the long season?
Oh, well, eating right is a big thing because you got to take care of your body and train it properly. And Coach Michelle and Coach Davis do a great job of that. So they handle it from their side, and we put what we need to into our bodies to be able to perform. As far as the mental side goes, I mean, it's just personal preference for whoever as far as an athlete goes. I mean, I read a lot, I listen to music, stuff like that. So that's kind of how I stay focused on task. So.
And then, I mean, with a long season as well, you talked about track is a team. I imagine that's a lot of time. You get a lot of opportunities to bond with you know, the 19, 20 people that are on the team. Or I don't know how many people are on the team.
It's almost 100.
Almost 100. Wow,
yeah,
I was way off.
I think, with the cross country team. So yeah, we spend a lot of time with our groups. So you have the sprints group and the throws group and the distance group, and you know, that's where we spend the majority of our time. But yeah, we do get to spend a lot of time together at track meets and stuff where there's, you know, 60, 70 of us, you know, all together. And but like I said, mostly it's the units together. It's like the throws group where we see each other every day, about half a day. So we spend a lot of time together.
So we're going to step away from track and field, and we're going to talk about Zach Douglas growing up.
Okay.
I mean, as a kid, I mean, you played football in high school, and you said you had an opportunity to play in college. Did you play football growing up as well as a kid?
Oh yeah. I played football since I was in 3rd grade. Basketball as well. I played a lot of golf. I actually played 4 sports in high school: football, basketball, track, and golf. So I was kind of always doing sports. Always doing sports all year. So.
And do you have any siblings growing up?
I have a little brother. Yes, he's 2 years younger than I am, and he's on a completely different path. He loves music and plays music and can sing, and I can't sing worth nothing. So
what was that like growing up? You're doing sports, but your brother was in music. Your parents splitting time between you two, kind of like different events.
Well, no, for the majority of our, you know, childhood, we both played sports. It's just he ventured into, when he got into high school, he started doing more of that, and I had, you know, graduated and went to college, so you know they focused on him more, and you know he likes to sing, not like concerts or anything like that, but he just enjoys playing music, and so it wasn't never really a split or anything like that. We was always together. We got a pretty good relationship, so yeah, he's a good kid.
Well, that's good. That's good. And where are you from? Where are you from again?
I'm from Coleman, Alabama.
Coleman, Alabama. And when you're not doing track and field, when track and field is not around Zach Douglas, when Zach Douglas is not around a track field, what do you like to do in your off time?
Like I said, I love to read, so I do a lot of that. I like to hunt and fish and everything like that. Everything you'd expect from somebody from Alabama. You know, I have fun doing that kind of stuff. I like to coach. Yeah, I actually coach at Charles Henderson High School. Help with the track team, and I enjoy that. That's what I like to do in my spare time. If I got a chance to help a kid, you know, learn something new, track and field, that's right up my alley. So.
Before I ask you about coaching, what's the biggest fish you've ever caught?
Oh, I have no idea. Probably 7-8 pounds, maybe, bass. Nothing too crazy. And
then coaching, is that like a passion of yours? Is that something that you could see yourself going into when you're done here at Troy?
Yes, sir. Yes, that's what I'm going into. Yeah, I'm gonna go be a high school teacher and coach and do all that kind of stuff. That's what I want to do. So.
Would you hope to move back to Coleman, or do you care? Would you mind staying in Troy?
Actually, I think I want to kind of get out of the state and go out and see the country, see the world. You know, see what else is out there. Definitely, that's definitely the idea right now. So I'm just coaching here because it's right here and I'm able to, you know, help. So I'm hoping to get out and go somewhere else and try some new things.
Well, that sounds good to me, man. That sounds good to me. When you guys next meet coming up, when is it?
Friday.
Friday. So Friday's the next meet. Thank you for joining us, Zach, and thank you guys for hanging around and joining us here on our interview segment. Stick around as we bring you more Trojan Sports Now after the break.